So we're sitting down with Pawel here from 11-Bit Studios, and I thought, if you will, give us the beat on Beat Cup. What kind of game is it?
So Beat Cup basically is a deep nostalgia feel brought through time to our modern times. If you think about cop shows from the 80s like Starsky and Hutch, or say Streets of San Francisco, or Kojak, or Columbo, name many and any, and they had this, feel of a good or bad cop trying to somehow fight crime. We're bringing this nostalgia back in Beat Cop game. So when you think about visuals, it's pixel simplicity, it's the style of aesthetics. When it comes to gameplay, you have a daily routine or daily duties of a cop, but it's heavily story driven. So actually what's happening in the background, you're the main character trying to solve a big crime story, and it turns out you're the core of this story. But what happens next? What you do? How do you react to your duties? If you take bribes, if you issue parking tickets, if you talk to mafia, you don't talk to mafia. You try to be the good community watchdog, so to speak. It shapes the further story, and it's all dipped in a sauce of good 80s music.
Yeah, it's really this sort of fantasy of being that sort of cop that is at the center of it all, and whose boss maybe not, the chief is not maybe, on his side at all times, or things like that. You're at odds with everyone, or you're not, or you're playing the game, or you're sort of staying clean. And
Yeah, exactly. You are balancing all the time between the cops you may or you may not be loyal to, between the mafia that you should be probably staying away from, but maybe you need to talk to them to solve some other crime story. Or if you're punishing your community members for parking tickets, or you're taking bribes, or maybe just letting them go away because you want to be the good cop. But if you do that, your captain may not be that happy as well. So yeah, you shape it. And what's importantly in this story also is that now we have this renaissance of TV, but for some reason in games we're still yet staying away from controversies. And my point is that in 80s cop shows there was no such thing as political correctness, only the solve of the solution or the solve of the crime at the end. This is what you do in this game. So
it was almost like you always had to bend the rules to get to the truth, right?
yes, exactly. And sometimes that means being an asshole, actually, but that's being policeman.
Can you tell us a little bit, because this is a little bit different than other 11-bit studio titles, in that you're actually the publisher here, and you've teamed up with a couple of veterans. Can you tell us what the developers are and the background of this project?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, basically we're now in a position that after releasing this War of Mine, we're having lots of money to invest into indie titles, so we teamed up with a few teams, and one of them is Pixel Crow. Lead guy at Pixel Crow is Pawel Miechowski, who used to be a producer for the first Witcher. And the producer of this title is Marek Ziemak, who used to be gameplay producer at CDP. Now he's at 11-bit, responsible for working with other indies. Maciej Miąsik in this case, and Adam Wiśniewski, and those guys teamed up to create Beat Cop. In this role, I am the marketing guy telling you about the game because they are not here. They will be at PAX East and E3 with this game personally.
Very interesting. And what is the timeline? When do you hope to sort of be releasing this game, and what's left to do?
So at the moment when we are talking right now, I'm not exactly sure about exact date. We're aiming to show the game to public at PAX East, like I mentioned, then E3. The game is supposed to hit the stores in Q3 of this year.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ben.